Hello friend, today I'm going to share a movie that haunted me for years, The Grizzly Man.
And I'm going to share about my newest favorite headphones. Let's get to it.
I'm going to be talking about a movie. This movie is Grizzly Man. It came out in 2005. It was directed, written, and narrated by Werner Herzog, very famous documentary filmmaker, and also happened to be on The Mandalorian in the first season, first few episodes. So I remember seeing this poster in 2005. It was at Sundance. And so it was this big giant grizzly bear and this guy looking at this grizzly bear, and it was very captivating. And I remember, but I never was able to see it. And finally, soon after, I did watch it. And the synopsis is it's a devastating and heartbreaking, heart-render take on the grizzly bear activist Timothy Treadwell and Amy Huguenard, I believe, who were killed on October of 2003 while living among grizzly bears in Alaska. So Timothy lived with grizzly bears for 13 years. He shot hundreds of hours of footage. He advocated them. He tried to understand them better. He even kind of wanted to be one almost, it seemed like. He called himself the kind warrior that sometimes had to become a samurai because obviously when you study bears, grizzly bears especially, and you're around them, for the most part, if you know what you're doing, I do not recommend this to anybody, they are relatively safe if you know their behavior. Again, don't ever try this. Obviously, he died, so he didn't know, and he was the biggest expert. But he's such a wacky and unique individual, but so endearing. You can see his love of these animals, and all animals really, throughout the entire movie. And you start to wonder, is he becoming enlightened and one with nature and animals, or is he unraveling from reality? This movie stuck with me for years and years. And in fact, last week I I watched another film from Sundance, and it really brought back memories of that. I'll talk about that film next week, so that's something to look forward to. But if you haven't seen it yet, definitely check out the movie Grizzly Man.
Oh yeah, I saw trailers for this and it really looked powerful. And now hearing you talk about it, I'm kind of like heart-wrenched, you know, it just,
Yeah, and it's not a big spoiler because it's in, I think, the trailer in the very beginning. You know how this story is going to end. So it's always interesting when filmmakers make that decision because you know how it's going to end, but it creates this extra tension because he gets close, touching. He touches grizzly bears all the time. He names them. He knows their personality. You know, and for the most part, like you almost start to forget. You're like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful, and you know, and this guy's just so wacky. But then how it just unravels and the end, and it's so heartbreaking and so powerful, but it will stay with you.
It sounds like it.
When there's a movie that's, you know it's good when you think about it for years and years to come. Like every so often I go back to that movie and I immediately am flooded with all these emotions, and everything about it is so powerful. It's just definitely worth checking out.
Wow. That makes me think of a movie that has stuck with me for so many years. Maybe It Will Be a Cool Sheet.
Oh, hey,
I need to remember that. Okay, I'm not going to reveal
that one
it
down
now.
in your
memory but
there.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. Oh, looks like it's amazing. My cool sheet, I'm going to be talking about a gadget, and this is called Bose Frames. These are Bluetooth sunglasses. So as a little backstory, I've never really found headphones or earbuds that I love, like absolutely love. All of them have their advantages for sure, but they all have little disadvantages for me. For example, over-the-ear headphones are wonderful if they're comfy, but they can be cumbersome. Earbuds, they're fine, and they're much smaller and all of that, but I find them to have their awkward moments with the cord getting tangled around for me anyway. Bluetooth earbuds like AirPods, they alleviate that issue, but they have issues of their own, possibility of getting lost, things like that. And so none of these are problems that are huge, but I've noticed them. And I'm really stoked at these glasses. I got them recently, and the sunglasses, these use Bose open ear audio technology, which I have found to produce sound that really impresses me. So first off, the quality is spot on. And even though I don't have something that's actually in my ear, stuck into my ear or around my ear, it is oddly similar to what it is like with earbuds. And second, this was a surprise to me. When I had something playing, it wasn't audible to someone that was sitting right across from me. That blew my mind. So of course, if you're blasting at a really loud volume, someone nearby would be able to hear. But if you're having a conversation using it to talk on the phone, or if you're listening to a podcast or something like that, you could do it privately in a public space. I also like the options available for how they look. They have several styles. They're pretty much classic looks because they don't have a whole battery of different styles, but they do have at least 3 that are more of the normal look, and they have one that's more sporty. And you can also order prescription lenses to fit them if you want to have prescription sunglasses. The downside, of course, is if you don't want to be wearing sunglasses. But in my eyes, it is another piece to my arsenal of audio listening devices. And I have them here as well so you can see them. These are the Bose audio frames.
Ah, look at how cool you are right now. Just rocking out. Have no idea what I'm talking about right now.
So they're not obvious. Like it's thicker on the sides a little bit, but it's not, you know, you don't have a big antenna coming up or anything like that.
Yeah, no, they look for the people that were listening on the podcast. Yeah, they're just cool looking sunglasses.
Yeah.
With a little bit bigger on the side, but you wouldn't say like, oh, that's weird. You know, it just looks. Especially because they're hidden in your hair a lot too, so you don't see that part.
Yeah, in my case, for sure.
Yeah, so that's really cool. And yeah, the first question I had was like, oh, that's going to be weird though. You're going to be like that person that, you know, has their phone blaring music walking down the trail, and it's a little like, really? You can't just use headphones for that?
Yes,
so
exactly.
now it sounds like it doesn't blast everybody out.
I don't know how it does it.
Bose always has this like crazy technology, and they're always kind of the first and the leaders on what they do, and it's always mind-blowing.
Yeah, I love Bose. And I have to say, I wouldn't have gone out and bought these, but I had a bunch of rewards on a credit card, and I was like, that looks cool.
Yeah, because I got to imagine Bose, they're great, but they're usually expensive.
Yeah, so we're looking at $200 to $250.
Yeah, so not cheap, but if you love it.
If you love it.
You got to treat yourself sometimes.
Yeah, right.
Well, thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I am super happy with my AirPod Pros, so I probably won't need to take them, you know, but someone out there is, I'm sure, going to love that if they're, you know, that doesn't work for them or anything else. So very, very cool.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not going to use them all the time, but when I'm outside and it's sunny, you better believe it.
Heck yeah. Well, thank you again. Check those out on our website, on our show notes at 10bestest.com/thewire. It's 10bestest.com/thewire, all lowercase, one word. Thank you for joining us, friend. I'm Brian Hart.
I'm Karen McFarland-Holman.
Let us know in the comments, what movie has stuck with you for years?
And let us know, what's your favorite style of headphones?
If you're enjoying the show, give us a like and share it with a friend.
Stay tuned tomorrow for another great show.
And don't forget to stay curious.